What if I told you that ketchup was once sold in pharmacies as medicine? In 1834, people weren't putting it on their burgers. They were taking it as pills to cure indigestion. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the strangest medical trends in history, when ketchup wasn't a condiment, but a cure-all remedy that doctors actually prescribed. This story involves con artists, desperate patients, and one of America's most beloved condiments. If you're fascinated by weird historical facts, you're going to love this video. And hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss another mind-blowing story like this one. Let's set the scene. It's the 1830s in America, and medicine is nothing like what we know today. There are no regulations, no FDA, and doctors are prescribing all kinds of bizarre treatments, from mercury to bloodletting. People are desperate for cures, especially for common ailments like indigestion, which plagued many Americans due to their rich, heavy diets. Enter Dr. John Cook Bennett, a physician from Ohio. In 1834, Bennett made a bold claim that would change the condiment world forever. He announced that tomatoes, specifically in the form of tomato extract, could cure practically everything. We're talking about indigestion, diarrhea, jaundice, and even rheumatism. Now remember, tomatoes had a complicated reputation in America at this time. Many people actually believed they were poisonous because they're part of the nightshade family. But Bennett was determined to change that perception. Here's where it gets interesting. Bennett didn't just recommend eating fresh tomatoes, no. He created something much more marketable, tomato pills. He extracted the essence of tomatoes and compressed them into pill form, calling them Dr. Bennett's tomato pills. And guess what? The main ingredient was essentially concentrated tomato paste, what we now know as ketchup. The marketing campaign was genius for its time. Bennett published articles in medical journals claiming his tomato pills were a miracle cure. He positioned himself as a scientific authority, and people believed him. Why wouldn't they? He was a doctor, after all. The pills became incredibly popular, and soon other entrepreneurs saw an opportunity. Within just a few years, the market exploded. By 1837, there were dozens of companies selling their own versions of tomato pills. Some called them extract of tomato, others went with tomato elixir, but they were all basically the same thing, ketchup in pill form. These pills were sold in pharmacies alongside other medicines, and people genuinely believed they were taking something that would improve their health. But here's the twist. Were tomatoes actually medicinal? Well, surprisingly, there's a kernel of truth to Bennett's claims. Tomatoes are rich in vitamins, particularly vitamin C, and they contain lycopene, a powerful antioxidant. So while they weren't the miracle cure Bennett claimed, eating tomatoes certainly wasn't harmful, and they did provide some nutritional benefits. The problem was that the concentrated pills often had very little actual tomato content, especially as more and more con artists jumped on the bandwagon. The tomato pill craze reached its peak in the late 1830s and early 1840s. Advertisements filled newspapers, promising that these magical pills could cure everything, from a simple stomachache to serious diseases. Some manufacturers even claimed their pills could prevent cholera, which was a deadly epidemic at the time. The price varied, but these pills weren't cheap. People were spending significant amounts of money on what was essentially flavored tomato paste. So what killed the trend? Several factors contributed to its demise. First, as more companies entered the market, the quality plummeted. Many manufacturers started cutting corners, using less tomato and more fillers like chalk, flour, or even sawdust. People started catching on that these pills weren't delivering the promised results. Second, real medical professionals began speaking out against these snake oil remedies. As medical science advanced, doctors started calling out the fraudulent claims. By the 1850s, the tomato pill fad had largely died out. But here's the fascinating part. While tomatoes lost their status as medicine, they gained something far more enduring, their place as a beloved food. As the pill craze faded, tomato-based condiments started appearing on dinner tables. Ketchup, which had existed in various forms for centuries, became the sweet, tangy sauce we know today. Companies like Heinz would later perfect the recipe and turn it into a staple of American cuisine. The story of ketchup as medicine teaches us several important lessons. It shows us how easily people can be misled by pseudoscience, especially when it's presented by someone with authority. It reminds us why we need regulations in medicine and food safety. The FDA was eventually created partly because of scandals like this one. And it demonstrates how cultural perceptions can change dramatically, from believing tomatoes were poisonous to taking them as medicine, to finally accepting them as delicious food. Today, when you squeeze ketchup onto your fries or burger, you're using a condiment with a truly bizarre history. Those tomatoes that Dr. Bennett claimed could cure everything? Well, they're still good for you, just not in the way he promised. Modern science has validated that tomatoes have real health benefits, but we don't need to take them in pill form or pay inflated prices for them. So there you have it, the wild story of how ketchup went from pharmacy shelves to kitchen tables. It's a reminder that history is full of strange moments that shape the world we live in today. Next time someone tells you about a miracle cure, remember Dr. Bennett and his tomato pills, and maybe take those claims with a grain of salt, or should I say, a squirt of ketchup. If you enjoyed this video and want more fascinating historical stories, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button, drop a comment telling me what weird historical fact you'd like me to cover next, and share this video with anyone who loves bizarre history as much as you do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.